Hello YouTube, this is Asatsu 5, Austin Cobertson, coming to you, making myself vulnerable, which isn't socially acceptable for a man, and talking about emotions, which isn't socially acceptable for men. By the way, this is cream soda, and I'm here to talk about a condition that I have. I'm here to describe it, talk about it, not complain about how bad life sucks, because honestly it doesn't, but sometimes it seems that way. And I'm going to talk to you about some good news. So this video might get a little dark, but I assure you there's light at the end of the tunnel. So let's get started. This is a scary video for me. First off, I'm not a complainer. I don't complain. I'll tell a story about that later. I don't wish to bum anybody out, make them feel bad. I don't like talking about my own emotions and problems. And also the fact that I run a weapons-oriented channel. I talk about self-defense, I talk about tactical knives, guns, all that stuff that we love on my channel, and it's generally not socially acceptable for people with my condition to be into that stuff. People who suffer from chronic depression, you know, have to be medicated for it. Generally, people don't want them to be around that kind of stuff. And I'm here to tell you, you don't have to worry about that. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I have often thought about how simple it would be just to self-destruct and start drinking a lot and doing drugs and, you know, self-destructing in that manner. And I'm here to tell you that I've never been drunk. I never drank underage, except for a few different occasions with my parents when they were just curious if I liked something. I've never used drugs that wasn't prescribed to me, and never been drunk. I am 25 years old, never been drunk. I drink a little bit. I never associate alcohol with pain. If I'm drinking, I'm having a good time, I'm relaxing. As soon as it crosses to that situation where I'm not feeling good, I'm having a bad day, I don't drink. I don't want to associate alcohol with pain. But the reason why I'm making this video is several-fold. One, I got good news to tell you. Two, I am a reviewer. I don't only review knives and weapons and camping gear and fishing stuff. I review oddball stuff, and my job as a reviewer is to share my experiences, whether they be bad or good. And I'm here to do that right now. Also, being a YouTube micro-celebrity, I do occasionally get recognized in public in different places, which is weird, but interesting. I've been deemed by some people as a role model, which is weird. Like it or not, if you're on YouTube and people like you on YouTube, they start respecting you. Hopefully, I still have haters, but you know, I have a group of people who left me messages and comments saying, you know, I respect you. You're a role model to me. You've helped me. And I feel if I'm going to be a role model and I have the ability to be honest and tell you good news and potentially help people with the same situation, same problem, then I ought to do that. It would be wrong for me to just keep stuff to myself, although I end up doing that a lot. I don't talk about my emotions and problems with my family almost at all. My dad once compared me to a dog. He was talking to me. He said, you know, you're like a dog, you know, that I would take to the vet. He used to be a dog trainer. He said, I could tell something is wrong with it, and I'll tell the doctor there's something wrong with it, but the dog can't talk to the doctor, or the dog won't talk to the doctor, or whatever he said. And, you know, it's hard to figure out what's wrong, what's going on in your mind. So, I generally don't talk about this stuff at all unless it's with a doctor. And that's because I'm forced to talk to them to figure out how to adjust medications and stuff. But somehow people, they know. They know when I'm having a bad day. My mom will come up to me and say, hey, what's wrong? You know, you don't seem all right. And I'll say, no, I'm fine. And she'll pester me until I tell her something. When I was in school, I'd be walking around, and people that I didn't even know, didn't hang out with or anything, would walk up to me and say, you look like you're pissed off. What's wrong? Are you all right? And generally, this is because I try to keep a very neutral face. I find it awkward to force myself to smile. I don't quite know how to do it. I can't smile for a camera. If there's something truly exciting going on, I can have a natural smile, but just to pose for a selfie, it just looks like a real mugshot. But people come up to me and say, "You look. Is there something wrong with you?" And then I'll have to. I'll come and be like, no, I'm all right. I had this happen to me at Academy a few times when I was working for at Academy, and I generally don't smile unless I'm talking to someone. So if I'm not talking to anybody, I find no need to smile. But depression is a pretty serious thing as an internal battle. It takes away your confidence. It takes away your. It affects you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. I don't know if I said this already because I've tried filming this video several times, and but it affects you mentally. You get frustrated very easily. It affects you emotionally. You know, sad for long periods of time. You know, it's a self-hatred type thing. It affects you spiritually. You just kind of shut down. And physically, if you shut down, you're not exercising like you should. You're eating. You have weird eating habits, eating at night, eating a lot, not eating, that which can affect you physically. And then, you know, I grind my teeth. You know, I woke up just gnashing my teeth. And that makes your teeth sore. And it affects you in every aspect of your life. And it's weird. It's not like your dog dies, you're sad for a few days, and then you're over it. Which will trigger a depression attack, that I call it. But like anytime, you know, something negative happens to you, a loss of a friendship, it's like a 2 or 3 month deal. And you find it difficult to force you to do stuff. You don't want to go into town and socialize. Socializing for me is a very scary thing because of the speech impediment. And I was taken out of PE to work on my speech a lot, so I didn't interact with a lot of kids in general until I was in high school. But yeah, it's just, you know, it's a self-hatred thing. Now, I'm going to use this term little voice, but it's not a voice. I don't hear voices that are not spoken. But you know, if you were to think to yourself the ABCs, you have a thought of A, B, C. You don't hear it, but you can think it. And with depression, the little voice in your head that it feeds you good, positive feedback, tells you, life is good and stuff, or that you're cool or anything. It kind of works against you. It tells you that, you're not good for anything. It tells you that, you're worthless. It tells you that people hate you or don't like you. And that's the thing. I've mentioned this in past videos when I talked about socializing and stuff. For the longest time, I had no clue why people wanted to hang out with me. I had no clue why people wanted to talk to me. I thought it was weird. It's like, what did I have to offer you? So it was just weird. I didn't take pleasure in the day. I didn't take pleasure. Well, I guess you could say took pleasure in the night. I slept, which was my way of numbing the pain, along with TV and buying stuff. But yeah, I remember very distinctly my dad taking me to the beach, which I love the beach. But back before I was having any kind of medication, he would like, oh man, the beach looks good today, and I would look at it and I'd be like, well, it's just sand and water. And he was like, oh, look at the sunset, and it's like, well, it's just the sun. I took no pleasure in it. I didn't enjoy it, which is sad. And a lot of times I would take a trip to the beach before I was being medicated for depression. And I would spend the whole trip just watching TV while everybody else was fishing and playing and swimming and stuff. It's terrible. I regret that a lot. Anyways, I notice I say that a lot. Anyways, by the way, this is IBC cream soda, and I'm attempting to sip on it instead of saying That's the reason why I'm doing this. But there were two occasions. Well, let me back up a little bit. This whole time that I was being medicated for depression and suffering from it really, really hard, even with the medication, I mean, I've been on almost every single antidepressant there is, or close to it. I always had this mindset that I had to be tough. I had to be Chuck Norris or Clint Eastwood. I had to outlast this. I have to be. I have to. I have to be a warrior. I have to be tough, not wimp out. And that was my attitude for the longest time, and it's not my attitude anymore. It is a method of dealing with it, but it's not a very good method of dealing with it. There was two different occasions where I was just feeling super bad. I mean, there was a couple of lost friendships that was really bad, and I kind of went through the tough this out type thing. But there was this one occasion where it was right before going to Arkansas for a scuba diving trip, and so you can tell this is somewhat recent. Back when I was scuba diving, and I ran out of medication and refills, and I wasn't able to go to the doctor before the trip, so I went without my medication for the whole trip, which I did good on the trip. I enjoyed myself, but when I got back from the trip, everything just kind of fell apart. I started to shut down. I noticed I was getting short with my family. I noticed that I just wasn't feeling good. I wasn't happy with myself. I wasn't happy with my life. And what I ended up doing, that's what happens when you film outside. But what I ended up doing was going in the shower, turning the hot water on, and letting it run over me until it ran cold, and praying. And I prayed and prayed. It was a begging, actually. And after the water ran cold, I went to bed, woke up. There was an issue. I was completely fine. Thought this was strange. My mom took me out to eat, and she started talking about how she noticed that I was hoarding, and she started crying, which really upset me, but I told her that I had no issue. I was, at that moment, at peace. So, some time passed, and whatever happened, I had this prayer that I would pray for God to forge me into a better person. And I believe that's what happened. And it was a very scary event. I pray, forge me into a better person, because forging sounded cool in the prayer. I'm a knife guy. I like forged knives, master bladesmith knives and stuff. A lot of beautiful things could come from it, but if you think about it, it's a very violent event. Heating up metal, banging it flat or into shape, and then grinding it, heating it up, cooling it down is a very violent event, but something beautiful can come out of it. So I prayed this prayer for a few days, and then, as it would happen, I ran out of medication for X amount of time, and at the time I wasn't able to pick it up for whatever reason. I can't remember. And I had some pretty bad attacks in my past, but this was by far the scariest. There was the thought in my mind was, pure hate and sadness and despair and hopelessness. I was in a public place, by the way, had sunglasses on, but I was tearing up underneath them, and luckily there wasn't a whole lot of people around. That would have been awkward. And I prayed really hard. This was a begging. I was pretty much, screw the tough guy shit. I need relief now. And I prayed several prayers in rapid succession. And I sat down, and there was a switch flipped. It was the oddest thing. A switch flipped, and the thoughts in my mind were no longer of hate. It was, life isn't bad. Life is good. You have a good life, and it was positive. It was positive. It was peacefulness. I was at that moment in peace. At peace. It was a complete 180 from just a few seconds ago. Which, like I said, it was a very scary event. I'm not going to go into great details of what I was thinking. But I needed relief. I was at my breaking point, and I needed help. I prayed to God for help. That's where the good news comes in. He answered my prayer on 2 different occasions where I was at some sort of breaking point. I was no longer trying to be a tough guy, and I wasn't trying to rely on myself. I was relying on Him. And just things started getting better. I still have bad days. I still technically suffer from depression. I'm still being medicated for it. But it's not like as scary as it used to be. I have a generally better outlook on things. I'm taking care of myself better, buying nicer clothes, not because I'm worth what I pay for my clothes, but, you know, trying to dress nicer, attempting to be more sociable, and I have one day a week, Thursday, where I avoid TV, because TV was my numbing agent. You know, it distracted my brain where I wouldn't think about myself and how bad life sucked, which in reality didn't suck. That's the really crappy thing about depression. You think life sucks even though you're upper middle class. Yeah. Life, technically, my social standing, my place in life, I had a job. Oh, I have a job. I had a job on YouTube. I had fireworks stand jobs. I had a job at Academy, which the job at Academy really helped a lot. It truly did. Hanging out with people my own age who wanted to talk to me for some strange reason. It helped out a lot. But yeah, it's just I feel a change. Instead of wearing a t-shirt, blue jeans, boots, I'm wearing button-up shorts, rather nice ones. I'm still wearing boots. I'm not wearing tennis shoes anymore, but more fashionable clothes. I kind of want to show myself at my best now. Before it was like, screw what you think, what do I care type thing, which is a horrible way to live. You should care how people think about you. I did care about what people think about me. It's just it was harder to appreciate it, I guess. I was craving it, but I'm trying to take control of my life a little bit more, and it's been working out. Some other good things happen that I'm not going to talk about right now. I'm waiting until I reach my goal, and then I'll make a video about it, because it'll be awkward if I mention it and then don't reach my goal in any near future. But things are looking up. Like I said, I still have bad days, though not nearly as intense. This depression has really controlled my life for a long time, and I don't like that. And it kept me from going out and socializing. It kept me from enjoying nature, art, like paintings and stuff. I look at the sculpture of David and I'll be like, oh, it's just rock. Now I was like, oh man, look at that. I look at a fine watch and I can appreciate its craftsmanship. I appreciate things more. That's a pretty cool thing. And I always considered myself a Christian, but I don't know what to say. I guess I was just the talk. But there was a third time that my prayers were answered when I was a kid, when there was a thunder and lightning storm and it was scaring me, and I prayed, and it ended after I said amen. But these things is very real. It's extremely real. And I thank God for the very, very scary event that was forging me into a better person. It was extremely scary, mentally violent, and something very beautiful came out of it in the end. So I thank God for that. I thank God for Jesus Christ for dying for my sins. You know, I don't deem myself worth it, but apparently He did. And that's the good news. I don't know how long this video is, and I apologize, but I felt that this needed to be said. I felt that I should have this conversation with you. That's what it is. It's a conversation that I don't get any feedback until after I upload the video. So, yeah. You gotta promise me something. This video was no way, shape, form, or fashion a boo-hoo me video. I don't need a pep talk. And I don't want a pep talk. So, feel free to leave a comment. This is a discussion, but I don't need a pep talk. Like the video, dislike the video, but I preferably like the video. I'd like to know if you appreciated this video, if you got something from it, if you learned something from it. And I guess that's it. I'm Estatsu5, and I'm out.